Well, coming up next, we have got the notion of investing in impact through creativity, and we're going to discuss this in a really special way. So we are incredibly lucky to have joining us real creatives who are going to take us through impact and net zero venture capital. We have moderating this fantastic discussion, AY Young, producer, singer, songwriter, CEO of Battery Tour, who's doing some really fascinating work with the United Nations. We have Johnny Drille, singer, songwriter, joining from Nigeria. And we have Rocky Dawuni, international music star, United Nations Goodwill ambassador of Ghana. Really special lineup of musicians, gentlemen. Please join us up here. We cannot wait to hear your perspectives.
How you guys doing? Hello. Guys, this is going to be a really special panel all about kind of music and impact, right? My name is AY Young, letter A, letter Y Young. I'm founder of something called the Battery Tour, right? And I've powered over 958 concerts using 100% renewable energy. What up? I'm all about using the music to power impact, to bring change. And these are two guys that are all about using music to power change. We got Johnny Drille, guys, one time for the good time, an incredible artist, one of the best artists in Africa and Nigeria, heavily awarded. We also got multiple Grammy nominated artists, just sensational musician and change maker, Rocky, guys, one time for the good time. So guys, I kind of want to do this in a fireside chat, like conversation style. I mean, you guys are two of the best artists in Africa. You know, maybe Johnny, we start with you. What got you into music, and what motivates you to kind of be different with how you do music?
So first of all, very excited to be here. This is amazing, feels amazing. I mean, for me, it's I kind of grew up around music. I was born. My dad is a pastor, so I kind of grew up around music equipment and all that stuff. And I just kind of picked interest in creating music, making music in general. But I think for me, just overall, the driving force has been different, doing something different from the norm. Because in Nigeria, for most of Africa, like African music, Afrobeats is such a big thing in Nigeria right now, especially right now. And just at the same time, people love Afrobeats, but they also want to listen to whatever else is there. You don't want to listen to Afrobeats 100% of the time. And I kind of was able to create a market, create a fan base that wanted something different. And that's been my journey so far.
And I mean, elaborate a little bit more on being different. I think it's really, I live in the U.S. A lot of kids, Gen Z, millennials. I'm a youth ambassador for the UN, and they really look up to artists like you. Afrobeats is a huge popular kind of sound of music, and to me, I mean, you're impacting young people, helping them take that step to be different. Elaborate a little bit more on what you mean about that, and how that, how you get that across in your music, man.
Exactly. I mean, thankfully, Afrobeats is such a big thing right now. It's global, and this is something we've always wanted and prayed for over the years. And a lot of people see it as such a big thing right now, but it goes all the way back to, like, I mean, if you want to go all the way back, it goes all the way back to the great Fela Kuti, But then the culture we've kind of been pushing over the years. Thankfully, we're having a moment right now, and artists are doing big things. Like my label mates, Rema, Ira Star, doing incredible work. And I think this is just testament to the fact that we all were inspired by Fela's Afrobeat. And that's kind of spawned into this many different varieties of sounds that Rema is doing, Ira Star is doing, Burna Boy is doing, doing all incredible stuff. And I think every one of these artists are different, and that's why they shine so well.
Facts. I mean,
Yeah.
and talking about being different, it makes me think about Rocky. I call Rocky the OG. You know what I'm saying? The OG of this impact stuff. I used to look up to him, and I still do, because I don't know if you guys know this, he's a UN ambassador. You know, he was doing these spaces like COP, Conference of Parties, Davos in Switzerland, I mean, shoot, man, you shared the stage with Stevie Wonder. I mean, Peter Gabriel, who's a good friend of mine, you know, Jason Mraz. I mean, you were kind of like the original OG of like bringing impact, you know what I'm saying, to the world and to these kind of corporate stages. Can you talk about, man, being different, using music as a way to change the world?
You know, am I loud enough? Can you hear me? You know, I grew up, I was born in a military barracks in Ghana. When I tell people that, everybody's like, what? A military barracks? I was like, yes, I was born there, and I never left the military barracks till I was 12 years old. And in the military barracks too, what happens is that when you're a child of a soldier, you're a child of every soldier. So discipline is an aspect of your everyday life. You have to be very disciplined in whatever you do. So at that time too, it was during the era when Ghana was going through a lot of political turmoil. So the military in Ghana was also involved in politics at that time. So here I was, a little kid. Every day I would hear soldiers talking about national security, talking about economy, talking about environment, talking about empowerment. So I was taking in all of these issues. But at the same time too, I felt that my pathway was not a pathway that my father had chosen. I felt that music was my calling. And during that time too, all the Ghanaian soldiers too were serving as part of the United Nations peacekeeping force. So that's the United Nations connection too that was ingrained in me.
Yeah.
So whenever they traveled and came back to Ghana, they brought records that were not available in any part of Ghana. So here I was being fed on constant issues of developmental mindset, and then there comes the different types of music too. And then here was a child too who felt that his calling was music. So I had all of these diversities going on. But then the Ghanaian army too was a place too of tribal and cultural plurality. By that I mean that most people don't come from a tribal environment, but we in Africa, you come from different tribes. They speak different languages, different cultures, different worldviews. So to be in a military barracks, you were exposed to multiple cultures. And that also gave you a worldview of seeing the world in a different, the diversities were actually an empowerment aspect for you. So these were the things that fed into my music. So at a certain point, I looked around and I saw that there were so many things that needed attention. And if those things were gonna acquire a means of communication, not only within the barracks and across the nation, I had to figure out a way to be able to present these aspirations in the context of music, which I was attracted to. So in my initial compositions, I started going to the military barracks like, you know, it's the practice of the military barracks. And they were big fans of reggae music. They were big fans of Fela Kuti. Because, you know, African soldiers, they always felt they were liberators, regardless of what anybody thought, you know. So Bob Marley, Fela Kuti, all of a sudden, the two styles of music that I eventually did started taking shape. Elements of Afro beats, elements of reggae music, inspirational aspects of our traditional culture, traditional dimensions, a worldview of communication, of plurality, seeing the world not only for myself, seeing it as a means to empower everybody. So the seed of impact was sown at that early age. So I started off, when I came with even my first album, it was packed with messages of inspiration. It was packed with messages of empowerment. Women empowerment, water, you know, issues of bringing national cohesion. became an aspect of me. So as my profile rose, organizations like UNICEF started approaching me. They were like, after my biggest hit in Ghana, which actually exposed me to the rest of the world, UNICEF approached me and were like, we hear what you're saying, so how can we also come and help you and leverage what you are doing, because you seem to be creating a platform that will be ideal for social issues. And I said, well, that's what I've been doing, and I also feel that I can't only talk about issues without having a methodology of real life implementation of those ideas.
Facts.
And I knew that I didn't have the capacity. So in connecting with organizations like that, I could have more impact.
Facts. Facts. Hell yeah, you can clap for that. That's beautiful. I mean, that's why I'm happy to be in this conversation with both of y'all, because y'all are real, man. You really do it. You know, it's interesting. Music is a universal language, right? We all know that. And I don't think anything changes without culture and music behind it. If you look back and see any movement, music is a part of it. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't understand the cost of impact.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And it takes capital, right, to make this creativity and to get that to the people. There is a cost to it. You know, we're in this space, we're, you know, entertaining suits and ties all the time. We're at conferences like this, Rocky, around the world. Johnny, maybe Rocky, you guys want to comment a little bit about, like, what were the struggles? How have you, you know, leveraged capital to create the creativity or create the music, right? So then you can make that impact. What has that process been like, leveraging or harnessing capital to make it happen? And are you having trouble with that as a creative, right?
Yes. It's so interesting, because I think for a lot of Nigerians, most Nigerians are already at a disadvantaged place when they're born, in terms of like the system doesn't really favor you. It doesn't really set you up to be great. But it's amazing how we've been able to rise above that and do such incredible stuff. Like I said, Afrobeats is having such a big moment right now. And I personally don't think any of that would have happened if there wasn't capital that came into the system. Like, Afrobeats has been a thing for God knows how long. Bizzo,
exactly.
It goes all the way back, you know. But this collaboration started to happen, I think, in the last 5 years. For example, my record label, Maven Records, that has Rema, that has Ira Star, and the rest of us. There was a joint venture deal that happened with Kupanda Capital 3-4 years ago, right?
As a VC firm or something?
Exactly.
And if you guys are listening, he's saying there was a joint venture. It took capital to get that creative to the people, right?
Exactly. And when that happened for us, I mean, things started to pick up, and, you know, and the music started to, I mean, African music it has rhythm, it has soul. Like, you connect instantly with it once you hear it. But I think it started to translate more once the music started to be able to reach newer places. Right now, Afrobeats is in India. It's in places you'd never imagine. I had my Canada tour just in June, and I had performances in Winnipeg. I would never have imagined people singing my music there. Like, I'm just a guy in Nigeria, but being able to connect with people in other parts of the world that listen to our music, that connect with our music, I think that's such a fantastic thing. And I personally believe that would never happen if there wasn't some form of collaboration, creative capital, and even physical capital that, yeah.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, it makes me think of what, you know, even in my own life with the Battery Tour with Project 17, I wouldn't be here about to make world history without the capital. Like, a lot of at the end of the day, you've got to have the money to make the music and distribute that and connect those messages and bring the culture to the people. And so there is the idea of it takes radical collaboration to make some of these things happen. Yo, Rocky, man.
Yes.
We talked a little bit too about this space, you know, the struggles of, you know, getting the capital we need to really do this kind of impact work. Like, you want to build on that or comment on that?
Well, I will comment on that because, you know, usually you have record labels in certain markets, in certain places. that capitalized entities that are the ones that usually find the talent, invest in the talent, and then work through every channel of the talent. And then you have all the other peripherals like, the booking agency and all of, the marketing people, all of the people who help an artist finally before everybody sees the artist.
It's a whole system.
But in our environment, like where we grew up, it was, first of all, it starts with your area people. The boys around the area, those who trust your talent, who will be the ones, your cheerleaders, the ones who fork the first, your first initial capital, your startup capital is from your neighborhood. So once you're able to get that, you position yourself in a way that, and then it has to be backed by the quality, I wouldn't use the word product because I don't like to see music as a product. I see music, there's a spiritual dimension to music, and then there's also a commodified dimension to music. So first of all, you yourself have to believe in what you're presenting for it to be a viable, something that people want to invest in it. So I believe that to attract capital, you yourself have to be capital yourself in order for you to attract that capital. And then when you're able to create that, then obviously you put yourself in a position whereby the creativity is backed by funding, and then that funding attracts more funding. Then attracts, sometimes the capital doesn't have to be money. It has to be in personnel, in expertise. You find a manager who can totally be able to plug a place where maybe you need money to do all the radio and all of that, but you find this persona who embodies all of that, that can be able to make that happen without you leveraging for cash.
Facts.
So I feel that the capital can be defined in so many ways as to what the creative sector needs. But in the long run, you also need the capital that can take care of travel expenses, because in the beginning, most of the time, your gigs are not paid for. You have to do so many promotional gigs for people to even recognize who you are. And many of us did it that way. I left after I had my biggest popularity in Ghana. I left the shores of Ghana because of capital, because I couldn't find it in Ghana. I traveled to the US and went and worked for a record label. So during that time, that was how I was able to, whilst people were coming home and building homes for their families, I was coming home, paying for studio time, hiring the best musicians, hiring the best people so that I can create the best product.
And that's the thing, is there is a cost for impact, a cost for social impact, it's a cost to make this music, it's a cost to reach millions of people. I just did Times Square, right? I did show 958. Powered 100% by clean energy in Times Square, but there was a cost to put that on, and to bring the messages from those sponsors or even the collaborators to the people, right? And I think that's a strong point. We got a little time. I want to ask another question then, because we are talking a little bit about impact, right?
Yes.
And so, Johnny, if you got a minute or so, tell me about impact too, bro. You're from Nigeria. I know, I've been to Kenya, I've been to the Kibera slums. I was just in Ghana recently, got to make some time in Nigeria. But, it seems like you're using your music also to help people. Tell me a little bit about stuff you've done in the past, in the future, give me some.
Check 1 2 I. Yes. So when I think about music as a tool for social impact, for a lot of African music, for a lot of African artists, we're very much inspired by the great Fela Kuti, of course, because he saw music beyond just for entertainment or just for to dance or to sing. Like, he saw it as a tool to effect social change, and things didn't always go his way, but he was courageous, and that's very inspirational to a lot of us. And I mean, we can only try to. Again, Nigeria we're not perfect. The system is not perfect.
Facts.
Where we're navigating, trying to figure out how we're able to help people still succeed regardless of how the system doesn't want you to succeed. For me, my story is that I came from nothing and I made myself into something. I created a kind of music that's still African, but it's different. And I've tried to encourage people, and every now and then we have these initiatives towards the end of the year. This year we're doing 4 cities in Nigeria: Lagos, of course, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and then where I'm from, Benin. We're bringing people together, teaching them how to create music, but not just how to create music, but how to create music with meaning, music that addresses social issues and makes people, connect to the real identity in our African story. Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Do we have any audience questions? Yeah, I want to, because I know they're going to have a question for you. I want to ask, there's a lot of impact you do, but I think I want to hear from the audience before it's too late and we have a special performance, guys, so don't go anywhere with Rocky. Yes, right here. Any questions for our panelists? I can't hear you, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Can somebody turn on? I think the microphone
It's
is
turned on. I think I'm just softer.
Just gonna hook her up.
I work with K-pop and N-pop, which is having a moment also. N-pop is the Nepali pop, which is actually singing the same songs as K-pop, but with social message and impact. What we're seeing is that in a Web 3.0 foundation, they're able to get common money of the people that they're impacting. I'd love to know your point of view on that, because I'm seeing them create concerts across the region, and they're able to get money and funding from the people they're impacting versus going to a fund or a label or something.
So
How do you
your
see
question,
that?
you're asking about crowdfunding.
Not necessarily
essentially.
crowdfunding, that's a much bigger framework, but this is more social impact funding, common funds, like you'd have common share stocks. So this is a more formal way of doing it.
Yeah, and you're saying that some people are getting their funds.
Lots of people, about 8 or 10 of the big
Like
ones.
K-pop artists.
Like K-pop artists, but these guys have social messaging.
Awesome.
And they're able to put things. What do you feel after your experience? How is that different from the funding you get from venture capital?
I guess I can answer this, but I'm trying to answer it. So your question is,
How is capital, that is from common shares or common capital, or something like a degree on crowdfunding, better than getting funding from a VC, which kind of holds you by the...
okay, yeah. Well, I mean, VC funding is going to come with equity, right?
And this doesn't. This is free of equity and everything. They just want to see social
Yeah, well,
impact.
I mean, of course, if you're getting funding that's like non-dilutive, of course, that is ideal. Now, my structure with Battery Tour, which is a for-profit, or the Project 17, which is a 501c3, we have a sponsorship model with that because we help achieve a company's ESG. We drive their KPIs up, and I've made one song for each of those 17 goals. A lot of people are saying it's like 17 We Are the Worlds, which Rocky is a part of. So that model relies more on the sponsorship or philanthropy or family office or whatever. That's non-dilutive. You're talking about VC money. Of course, that's going to come with strings, right? But obviously Johnny's in his label is in a joint partnership, and that's great. And they came up with something that works for them. So 2 different channels of funding. Next question. They were having trouble hearing, so if you could just speak up on the mic.
Hello, do you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, my name is Natalini. I've been in the humanitarian space for quite some time. And I have a question with regards to the social impact that both of you artists create. And thank you so much for your work. It really makes a difference. My question, I guess, is when it comes to social impact, what are the things that you feel you have been able to shift and really move the needle? And what are your biggest heartbreaks?
Can you repeat again? Because I really,
What
it's hard to hear.
in terms of social impact,
Yeah.
what are like the biggest things they've been able to see shift or change? What
As
are
a
the big
result of your art.
as
and
a
your
result of
messaging?
your art? What have you seen change, Johnny and Rocky?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things that I can say when I started, at one point, I was approached by the Carter Center. And at that time, Ghana was going through a big issue of guinea worm infestation in the northern part of the country. So they needed voices to go and try to sensitize the people on the ground about the water that they are drinking, to also get organizations to sink wells, and then to go into the communities too and be able to have people from UNICEF also be able to teach the people how to be able to, treat their water. So at that time I had, this was a few years ago, I had a yearly concert that I did on the beach in Ghana, 50,000 people every year. But when that happened, what I decided was that every artist that was gonna step on the stage, if I book you, you go on the ground with me. So I had a group of very famous Ghanaian musicians who at that time were not into utilizing their platform for social impact, recognizing that, oh, so what do we do? Okay, we go out there, we go with all these organizations, we went to the communities, we stayed there, we saw the situation that was over there. Every community was surprised to see people that they always saw on television now in their communities with them in their kitchens, going to their water sources, now finding places where wells could be dug. And then we did that across then we made a song out of that, a collaborative song. The song was released on radio everywhere in Ghana, videos, the trip, all of that. There was so much impact and change that guinea worm was eradicated in Ghana through this initiative. Although our president at that time claimed all the credit for it, but this is a collaboration that Carter Center up till now has been very, very appreciative of that initiative. That was just one of it, one of several things. I also did an initiative with Bonus Red. When Red started, I was one of the first people that joined Red as a musician and really advocated for, reduced prices for HIV/AIDS medication. So through my lobby and my influence over there, the first funding of $7 million that was issued by the Global Fund for that was given to Ghana for the same initiative. So this is a whole line of how artists can leverage their platform for impact in so many diversified ways.
Yep.
And you
move
just use
capital.
your power of communication to make that happen.
And I want to make sure Johnny gets an answer in, or if there's one last question
yes.
For Johnny too, because we got a special performance with Rocky.
I think
Any last? Do you want to answer that one, Johnny, as well?
Yeah, just to add to what Rocky has said. Yes, absolutely. And there's something he mentioned a lot earlier about creative capital.
Yeah.
And I know when we talk about capital, a lot of people usually think about money, cash, but sometimes what people need a lot of times is knowledge, how to. Collaborating with these people and showing them how to do social things. And for me, I recently started to partner with this platform called LearnStar, where they have courses across different fields. Like mine is music, but you can get cooking if cooking is your field, if art is your thing. They have the things also. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
I've been a part of that, and I think it's incredible. And we're trying to see how we can get people, even at the grassroots and the slums and in rural areas in Nigeria, to be able to be a part of this at no charge. So that's something we're working on.
And Johnny's talking about LearnStar, an incredible, I think kind of a startup essentially phase, but uniquely doing something that no other company is doing in Africa, and because of his music and influence, able to bridge relationships and make solutions happen, right? We're out of time, and we've got Rocky that's going to perform. I want to say, thank you guys for having us. Make some more noise for our panelists.
Yes.
One time for the good time. And as I exit, I feel, because I'm a creative, I feel so led to say something to her question about the impact piece.
Yeah.
I kept talking about how I talk about how I'm on the road to 1,000 concerts with 100% clean energy. And it's been really crazy because I started the Battery Tour in 2012, homie, in 2012. And it's crazy to see Coldplay, Massive Attack, Billie Eilish begin to start doing clean energy concerts and kind of join this movement that I know I've been pushing for years, and Rocky and I have been trying to push sustainability in the environment. So it works, and it's changing the world and impacting the planet. So Rocky Dawuni.
Can you hear my guitar? Let me hear you say, yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Here I come with the love, oh beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. But there are many things we cannot hide. There are many bonds that can be undone, just like our bond, yeah. Everything in life is a sacrifice, but I know it was worth the price, for I did it for you. I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. Oh, beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Here I come with my love, oh, beautiful people. My beautiful people. Let me see your hands in the air. Whoa, 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 whoa. From every corner we'll be blasting. From every channel we'll be blasting. And you know I did it for you. You know that music is a language to free us from every bondage. So I sacrifice for you. Oh, but there are many things we cannot hide. There are many bonds that can be undone. Yes, I did this for you. I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Here I come with the love, oh beautiful people. My beautiful people. Now I'll ask everybody to stand up now. You know, we've all been sitting all night. And let me see you wave your hands from left to right. Whoa. Let me hear you say, whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Let me say, whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Song to you, my beautiful people. Let me hear you. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Let me hear you sing, it's so simple. Here I come with my love, oh beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Let me hear you say it again. I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. One more time, I want to hear your voice. Here I come with the love of beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Now let me see your hands in the hands, say, whoa, yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. From every corner we'll be blasting. From every channel we'll be blasting. And you know, that love is a language to free us from every bondage. So I sacrifice for you. Thank you. God bless us all. Let's all go out there and do what we came here to do. But let's remember that every creativity has to amplify the humanity in us. So let's let technology serve humanity and elevate us and bring us together. God bless us all. Let me hear you say, whoa!
Whoa!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you very much. God bless us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think
What
that-
a treat.